Detroit always had a rap scene. It's just the world didn't know about our music scene. The hottest rappers in Detroit always been local artists, meaning like the artists that the entire city would gravitate to, it always been a local artist. So you got Blade Icewood, Lodge Boys, the Cheddar Boys, Street Lords, all those guys. And we just continued on the sound that they had already started. And we just continued on with it, kept grinding, kept pushing it. And then the world kind of like caught on to it.
He's in the building. Welcome to another episode of BET Talks. I'm your host, Mia Bell, and it is with my pleasure to introduce Detroit's prodigal son. And I'm not talking just an artist, okay? Community man, and of course, family man in the building, Icewear Vezzo.
Absolutely.
What up, though?
What up, though?
I couldn't wait to say it to you. It's been a while, but we're here.
Absolutely.
And you got some real stuff coming on the way.
Yeah.
Highly anticipated.
Live from the 6th, February 2nd. Been a long time coming. I ain't dropped no project in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to take my time with this joint, you know what I'm saying? Like, I usually drop like a mixtape every 3 months.
Right.
Non-stop, and I've been doing that for like years. I want to kind of like take a break, sit back, watch the game from a different angle,
right.
See what was missing and try to bring some type of new approach or what I feel like has been missing a little bit. So yeah, I want to.
And that makes all of the sense, because when I wanted to see what the people were saying about you, somebody on Twitter said, "What happened to Vezzo? He not rapping anymore?" And I'm like, but last year, you know, wasn't that long ago that we got the tape from you and DJ Drama, 2 years ago, 2022. But that's what they expect from you.
Yeah, every other
on the
month.
go.
Absolutely, that consistency is key, you know. And I always preach the consistency part, and because I stay as consistent as possible.
Right.
So this the first time I ever went this long. So a year for me is like not dropping in like 2 years.
Yeah, and it's really not that long.
It ain't that long at all whatsoever.
Oh my gosh. So I'm assuming a lot has happened within the year for you to feel renewed enough to give us Live from the 6th. I do feel like you're coming in with different energy because you know I got the project.
Yeah. Oh, you got that joint?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Come on.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And you're coming through with new energy.
Yeah.
And it's only been a year. So what has happened within this 12-month span? Did you...
Man, a lot. So on a good note, for sure, I opened up a juice bar for my wife. It's in Troy, Michigan. It's called Fresh and Press.
Okay.
All organic juices. And I wanted to sit back and watch her go through that entire process, you know what I mean? She did that without any help from me other than some money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, just watching her gain that knowledge and that insight and just seeing her have like real passion and work towards something, it was almost like me understanding how she feel watching me, you know, so that experience helped me a lot. And just working on myself mentally, all that, like emotionally, you know what I'm saying, just dealing with a lot. I lost a little sister this year, so last year, that was a whole lot. And man, just trying to come to terms with everything, with myself, with being a family dude and being an artist, being a businessman, being from where I'm from. Just I learned some real good balance. You know what I mean? And I definitely appreciate being able to sit back. And I suggest everybody do that. You know what I mean? Because you kind of just take a step back and watch everything from a wider lens, from a more broader scope. And it helped me a lot, and it helped me elevate my music, my artistry, and to find another approach. I was trying to go around not being repetitive, like with my sound. I feel like I brought a different sound to the rap game with the strong, darker beats and all that, you know. And to watch everybody else kind of pick up on that meant a lot to me, but it made me feel like, you know what, all right, so let me see if I can bring something else now. You know what I mean? So just challenging myself over this last year.
Yeah, and that you are.
Yeah,
that you are. You mentioned balance, and I know, like you said, a lot has happened, ups, downs, middles, I'm sure. How have you learned to cope? Like, the older I get, I realize that this life thing is going to continue happening, right?
Absolutely.
Good, bad, all of it. How do you cope, and how do you move forward in a positive light?
I used to ignore a lot of things, and I thought me ignoring those things was me just being numb to it. You know, we as black folks, we always say like we numb to this, we numb to that, and
black men specifically.
Absolutely, and you know, honestly, we not numb to anything. That we just ignoring stuff. So I understood that I'm not numb to nothing, and I just face everything head on.
Right.
You know, like good and bad. You know, or every good trait I got and the bad traits I got. I try to focus on more of what I'm missing and what I'm not doing right versus patting myself on the back and all of that. You gotta take the time out to appreciate yourself, but I always wanna work on myself and grow more and more and more. You know what I mean? So the balance this time for me was to just face everything head on, address myself, address my feelings, address my heart, and you know, get past it and keep it moving versus ignoring it. And then it come up later on.
Yeah, you're being accountable.
Absolutely.
Of your actions and your feelings.
For sure.
How has that changed the energy around you?
It changed the energy around me a lot, especially like within like my household. You know what I mean? With my homies, with the people I got around, it make it easier for us to pull each other up on things and say, hey, check it out. I wasn't really feeling this. Can you not do this?
Oh my God,
versus
great. Yeah.
them like, hey bro, that ain't it. That ain't the way. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to figure out another angle. We ain't emotional about it. We're not in our feelings about nothing. We able to see each other and speak on one another's flaws and what's not right without it being some type of battle and argument. And I had that a lot. You know what I mean? And I was the one battling. I used to didn't like to hear things about myself because it get hard for a lot of people, but that changed.
And you're a Scorpio?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God. Y'all are tough to deal with.
That changed me a lot, especially the people around me in the industry.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful. Like you said, we're supposed to be able to have conversations where we don't agree and it be okay.
And it be cool. Ain't nothing wrong with disagreeing. We don't have to agree on everything.
Right.
We don't gotta like everything one another do.
And that doesn't mean it's a fight.
It's not a fight, and it don't mean I don't like you and I don't love you. I actually love you because I'm pointing something out. I could ignore this and allow you to continue to do that. Right. You could ignore me and allow me to continue doing what I should not be doing, but that's doing me a disservice. Right. And I think that's the opposite of love.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely.
Now, how does all of that translate in the music?
I put it in the music, and I talk about this stuff in the music. It's a lot of things I've been through in my life, a lot of things that happened that I ain't never rapped about. I don't speak about a lot of stuff on interviews, you know, and I just think right now I done did everything else. Why not tell my story? Right. And the reason I didn't do it because I wasn't comfortable and I couldn't find no balance and I didn't know how to talk about this stuff. But I learned how to talk about it in real life first. Yeah. Then now I'm able to talk about it in the music and put it on the songs and on the beats and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it helped me out a lot overall.
Yeah, and that's why I say I hear this refreshed energy. It's different.
Duh.
It's like, but it's very smooth too. It's not like you coming in aggressive. It's like, hey, I did that already.
Yeah, I did it. You know what I mean? We gotta wash our hands on a lot of stuff.
Right.
Keep it moving and we continue to grow. Wait for a new day. Right?
Of course. Now, I do want to get into just the style of Detroit's music and how you grew up, what you were listening to, and the positive things that were around you that influenced the sound that you have, not only in the past with the music that you were giving us before, but current day live from the 6.
Yeah. I grew up listening to like old school Cash Money, like Juvenile, 400 Degrees, BG, Chopper City in the Ghetto.
I hear all that bounce on this.
Yeah.
Different day.
And then we threw in like, so we got, Detroit always had a rap scene. It's just the world didn't know about our music scene. The hottest rappers in Detroit always been local artists, meaning like the artists that the entire city would gravitate to, it always been a local artist. So you got Blade Icewood, Lodge Boys, the Cheddar Boys, Street Lords, all those guys. And we just continued on the sound that they had already started. And we just continued on with it, kept grinding, kept pushing it. And then the world kind of like caught on to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
and that's what makes you a hero in Detroit. Absolutely. And the respect is not only there, but it's everywhere. Whenever your name comes up, it's respect.
That's how I move though, you know. I respect other people for the most part, you know. I don't bother nobody, don't bother me, I won't bother you. Just leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? But no, it be all love everywhere I go.
Yeah. And what about your neighborhood, the 6? Because a lot of people, of course, we all know 8 Mile.
Yeah.
We all know whatever happened in BMF. I'm sorry, that's my
7
knowledge.
Mile and all that.
So tell me about yours and what it's really like, because I know that you're big in your community. You love to give back, and it's something that you're still doing, even with the juice bar that you and your wife have now. So,
yeah, I'm from east side of Detroit, from 6 Mile. 6 Mile run from east to west, or whatever. 6 Mile was always that hood that was like, nobody wanted to claim, nobody wanted to be from there, everybody wanted to be from 7 Mile.
right.
And
But
now,
why?
I don't know.
Was there grass over there? Like, is that why?
It was just terrible over there. You know what I mean?
Terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't no like no money type of neighborhood. 7 Mile was that. But now it all changed. Everybody want to be from 6 Mile. People that ain't from the 6 claim they from the 6.
Okay.
Now, you know, we turned our hood up. And to go back on what you were saying, like as far as like positive things that motivated me. The crazy part is that it wasn't nothing positive that motivated me. All the wrong things motivated me.
Wow.
You know, and then it's the things that I obtained in my role, like the knowledge and insight that I got for myself, what kept me going, what stopped me from crashing out and falling off and all that.
Right.
I was motivated by all the wrong things. Everybody I looked up to was folks that I shouldn't have been looking up to at the time. And so that's why I give back. That's why I show up in my hood and in my community or whatever, because I know it's shorties that look up to me. So I want them to see me doing the opposite of what the guys did that I looked up to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want them to, I ain't never seen nobody giving back. I ain't never seen nobody help out for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for school, for nothing, for anything. I get picnics every summer in my neighborhood. We got carnival rides, clothes, gifts, free everything. I never seen my idols do that.
Right.
So I make sure I am that for the people, for the little kids growing up in my hood now.
Of course.
Yeah.
Was there a particular switch that made you say, like, nah, I have to be the one to do this?
My last little prison joint. So going there, you know, it was just, I knew I shouldn't have been in there. I was in there for a 5-second decision that I made, and it landed me.
5-second decision.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna ask you what that decision was, because that ain't none of my business.
Yeah.
But just the fact that 5 seconds could change your life in such a major way.
Absolutely.
I want you to speak on how important discernment is, because that's something that you learned afterwards.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep, I could have thought, but I chose not to think. You know, and I went with my pride. I went with all the wrong thing. What I thought was using my code and my dignity and my morals. I went with that, and then I went against what really mattered, like being available for my kids, being available for my wife, for my mother, for the people that needed me, for my career, for people like my manager that helped me, you know, just that 5 seconds I wasted everybody's time, even my own time, and when I had to go do time, you know, so I just think it's important for us to take a step back, take our pride out of stuff, and think, and then make decisions, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So after the 5-second stint, right?
Yeah.
That's what kind of turned everything around for you, that made you want to give back.
That changed everything for me.
See your community grow.
But no, I actually was giving back before that, you know, but that decision just made me, it made me want to give back in a different way. At first I was giving back just cause, like I say, just to be able to say I gave back.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't about, my reason was in the wrong place, basically, if you get what I'm saying. You know, and it went from me doing it just because I got it, just to be like, yeah, I get back. I'm a big homie. I can do this. To like, man, these people really need this. They really need me. And it ain't about the money. They need to see somebody else give back and do things like this. And it's okay to not be gangster 24/7. It's okay to do positive stuff. It's okay to rap about the streets and live a different life and chase a different life. That's all right. So, and that's what I learned from them 5-second decisions.
Right. Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you've been evolving ever since in such a major way. Now, QC, the label, Shouts to Quality Control, that happened in 2022. Now, what has been the difference between, you know, you putting out music beforehand and now having this power behind you and just the team in general, because I know that they're really, really hands-on with the artists that they bring on, because it's love.
Yeah. So the main thing that changed is just structure.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Taking my time with my rollouts and, you know, attacking every single angle from everything. At first, it was just like, let's just put it out. They're going to gravitate to it. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't.
Which they did.
Yeah, exactly. But now it was more so like we directly catering and putting stuff in people's face, like the people that listen to my music and rock with my music, and I'm able to see like a bigger picture. You know, it's not just about the fan base I do got. I'm able to try to go and grab way more now, way more people, and get a lot of other people to understand who Vezzo is and what I represent. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Yeah.
And you said you're filling in a gap that you feel has been missing within the time that you haven't dropped music.
Yeah.
What do you feel like is missing right now?
Authenticity.
Really?
Yeah.
I think so too, but you speak on that.
You know, I feel like everything's just fun now, you know. And ain't nothing wrong with that. We gotta laugh, we gotta have fun, we gotta vibe and all of that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with any of the music that anybody putting out. None of us come from nothing. We are striving for greatness. So I appreciate everybody that make music. I just feel there is no authenticity out there the way it could be, you know.
Right.
And I feel like we can do both. We can have fun and we can have that authenticity. So I'm merging them both.
Right.
And we're gonna give them both, you know what I'm saying? So ain't nobody like really telling that story in a way to where everybody can understand, everybody can relate to. When you listen to my music, you don't gotta be from the streets to understand what I'm saying. You know, you can be from any walks of life because we all go through the things that I'm rapping about.
Right.
It just happened in a different form or way. And I relay that message to where anybody can understand that, you know, on some different kind of beats, and we just vibing different. Everything making sense, it all add up. You know what I mean? I even got a skit on that joint. Like, ain't nobody put no skits on them since
It's been a while.
It's been a while, you know, and I want to bring that old school gangster music back, you know?
And you giving us the bops in it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
The gangster bops.
Yeah, them gangster bops, you know what I'm saying?
And it had me questioning the style of music that comes from the D too, because when I'm listening, I'm like, is this bounce kind of something that originated there? But then you mentioned to me also that, you know, you was loving your Louisiana artists too,
Absolutely.
which we hear in the sound.
They played a big part in Detroit music overall. Like, the Hot Boys had music with the guys that I was just naming, with the Street Lords, with Blade Icewear. Blade was like, he is a Detroit rap god. Like, he the godfather of all of us. Every Detroit artist, he our number one artist, all of us, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and he started off doing music with Cash Money back in the day, you know. Juvie, that sound that we created, I feel like it came from Juvie. We just kept doing it, and we did it a little bit different
way.
Different
a little more
BPM.
street.
Yeah, a little more, you know what I'm saying? And we just kept running with it. But initially, that's where I feel our style originate from that whole Hot Boy wave and back.
Yeah, you hear it. What about the artists coming out of the D now?
Yeah.
I know Babyface Ray. Can I say who's on the project? Because I believe this might be coming out around the same
absolutely.
time.
Let's get it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know Babyface Ray, of course.
Yeah.
Now Skilla Baby, he's also getting a lot of love.
Skilla, my little homie, turned up. You know
He really is.
And see, he brought something different to the game. He giving it up for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the women needed that.
Right.
And that's the result of thinking differently and bringing something different.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Skilla turned up, V's turned up,
Yep.
Ray turned up. You got Peasy. You got it's mad artists. Sada still turned. T Grizzly, Big Sean, everybody.
I love when T Grizzly gets in his lady bag too.
Yeah.
All of y'all.
T jumping his dancing bag and all that. You heard? That boy go jump in it. You know what I'm saying? So we just vibing. We cool and we just grooving. We keeping it thugging as we go. You know, everybody know everybody. Everybody got a relationship with each other somehow, some way. If we was to ever have any disagreements, it's gonna stay within between us. You know what I mean? So I feel like we all doing exactly what we need to do. We all bringing something to the table, and it's working out for the best.
Absolutely.
And we gonna open up the doors because it's 100,000 1,000 other artists from Detroit gonna come up that's ready to kick the dough down, you know?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever an artist gets on the track with you, you bring something out of them.
Yeah, I try
Something different.
Yeah.
You got to join on there with the baby. And this the first time I feel like he's kind of going into a different flow.
He rapping.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And he really can rap.
Yes.
He really can rap. Like Holmes went in, really got lyrical on that song.
And you brought it out of him
Yeah.
because we're not getting that from him.
Yeah.
And despite, you know, whatever happens on the internet and whatever mess, I just feel like we haven't gotten that. So hearing that was so refreshing.
Yeah. We got a chance to hear who he was as a person and hear his mentality, you know, without the stuff.
The noise.
Yeah, without the noise. That's the perfect word. Without the noise, we got a chance to really meet Jonathan. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate him. When we went and shot the video, dude was super humble, super welcoming. You know, just a solid dude, a real brother.
Right.
You know, we was able to have a real conversation and really talk. And it wasn't about nothing that, you know, that didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot of respect for him. I respect how he moved just overall. You know, he moved by himself. It be him and his security. Do what he do. He take care of his kids at the end of the day.
Right.
And that's the main thing I judge people on is the way they are with their kids. We all say crazy stuff sometimes. You know, we all get caught up in this, that, and the third. But it's about how we bounce back from that mentally.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And he was already humble, but you know, he's still moving how he supposed to move. Cause he don't gotta move like that. He made the money, he got rich, he did what he needed to do, you know, but for him to still be humble, still trying to learn, still learning, and still growing, you gotta respect it. So that was why I really wanted to reach out to him for a record.
Yeah, and it sounds great. I'm excited for, you know, the rest of the world to hear everything.
Absolutely.
You also have Rap Game on there.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to talk about Rap
You
Game.
just messed me up with that. Really check
Because
that
I listen
joint
to the
out.
music. Come on, please.
I gotta go check
I don't know why
that
people be surprised.
Yeah.
Now, Rap Game, you are comparing this industry to the
The
streets.
streets.
Why so and how so?
Because for one, rap and the streets should not be mixed. And I feel we done let it get just all intertwined up, so intertwined that it's throwing a lot of artists off.
Right.
You know, we got these youngins crashing out because we allowing them to think that you actually gotta go live our raps. You gotta do everything we rapping about. And we ain't doing that no more. We done already did it. We made it out of that stuff. You know, we in a position where we seen another day to tell that story.
Right.
You know, and I want them to be able to see another day to tell their story. You know, so it's one of those things where it's like it happened, but it shouldn't have happened, and that's what I'm speaking about. You know, just the rap game, imitating the streets. It happened. However, it shouldn't have happened, and it don't need to happen. And I'm just weighing the pros and cons of that happening. You know what I mean? So like, you know, just the whole street culture is nothing like the rap game. However, we turned the rap game into that, if that makes sense. It's like, it's nothing like it, but we made it. We made it fit.
Yeah.
You know, we made something work that shouldn't have worked. And we don't need to make that work.
Yeah.
We need to separate that. So I just wanted to touch on both lifestyles and both viewpoints of both different entities and intertwine them together in that song and show everybody that you see how crazy this sound? You see how wild and dumb this sound?
Yeah.
It don't need to happen. You know? So
Absolutely.
that's actually one of my favorite songs on the project.
Same.
Thank you.
Now, you're being really intentional about the project. You're teaching.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the refreshing sound that I was telling you about too. Besides the production and everything else, you know, it's like a new viewpoint.
Yeah.
And you're ready to put the rest of the world on. Like, finally, I'm gonna give y'all the keys.
Yeah.
Now, what is the message that you want people to take from it, especially your hardcore fans, the ones who ride for you?
Well, first and foremost, I wanted to just tell a little bit more of my story, and I ain't done telling my story. It's the project where I just started to tell my story.
Yeah.
So, you know, this was me just finding a way to kind of give it to them and vent, you know, and just let them know what went on with me outside of everything prior to this project. You know what I'm saying? Also, I want them to get out of this that sometimes it don't hurt to just sit back, see things, take your time, and then approach. As far and that part is for the rap game.
Right.
I want to give them that part, you know, for other artists. Let's fall back, let's think on it, let's reapproach it, let's bring something new. And I want to raise the bar a little bit, you know what I mean, for street artists. I wanted to not make it so much about my ops and so many dead homies and my money and my cars and my jewelry and everything that I can't take with me.
Right.
You know what I mean, I want to rap about everything that matter to me, which is my family and the things I learned. You know what I mean, and what's most important. You know, and ain't none of those things is a possession.
Right.
None of them. Only thing that I can possess is my children when I hold them.
Right.
You heard? So that's what I wanted to do with this.
Ooh, live from the 6. You heard it here first. BET Talks. Let me tell you something, Vezzo. We can't wait. The world is excited.
I appreciate it so much.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Get it. Live from the 6.